Morning, January 9th, 2020. All kinds of good things to come. About time to get off the vacation. So, dead red, one of the first things. I have come to the conclusion it's time to go ahead and put a Dana 60 underneath it and re-arch a set of front springs. When you hang a plow on it and push down, them poor old springs, they just don't hack it. And it's kind of funny because Red is set right back up with the original plow that he had on it before I bought it. The gentleman saved all of his original parts whenever he had a problem with something, if he broke something, bent something, whatever, and he just replaced it. So I got a complete plow frame and plow, no hydraulics, but hey, I got everything else. Found another spare Fisher plow with all the springs and everything I need, or Myers plow, excuse me. Anyway, long story short, Red's going to go ahead and get a Dana 60 in the front, hopefully with the limited slip. I haven't decided whether I'm going to use the one I got or if I'm going to try to get a new unit for it in the future. Rear end, I'm going to change out the center chunk. It's got a limited slip in it that's pretty much smoked, and literally weld up a fucking, excuse my language, weld up a open carrier for it, so I have a straight up lock in the back of Red. We're getting ready. That angle's going to get built in, so we got some a little bit of meat to the back of it, because when we did the chop out of Red, I've talked about it many times, but I took about 12 and 13 inches respectively, or 13 and 14, I forget. If you look at the side of the truck from a good angle, you'll see it. You've seen it. Old school cheat, flipped the shackle, took out the block. Now we'll re-arch another set of springs for them and give them a little bit more height lift in the back. Lights, got a set of toolboxes that's got to go on them. Figure out better placement for my spares, because like I said, we took a foot out of his butt. And possibly build something in the tailgate. Plus we're going to go from a old school chain run winch, we got all the stuff, literally, and it's all laying right here. I'm not going to change the winches on the truck. That winch might go on the front or be used for a deck winch, but the hydraulics and that, we're going to set up a complete hydraulic system and run the old winch off of a hydraulic sub motor. A lot less stuff in the way, won't have to mess with my exhaust. I think it'll come out a lot better. We have options. Plus we've got sub motors for flipping days. Where'd I move it? There's at least one pump option. So anyway, we got a RAV4 to get running. Where it come from, they did a timing belt on at some point, didn't have the idler tightened right, loosened up, jump time. I took it apart, put a fresh belt back in it, tried to time it, didn't get it. So we got to get that done. A lot of shop cleaning going on. Couple trades coming up. The big block Chevy is probably going to go to a friend of mine in exchange for a 472 Cadillac and some other goodies. V-dub motor for my lady's van. She got the 68 van, the black Jeep, Dory's Jeep. At one point I was going to turn that into a flat rod, but I've changed my mind. I'm back to thinking we're going to build that. And when I mean build it, I mean build it. I got a Dana 60 with a pretty good limited slip under the back end right now, just waiting to be adjusted and put in. And I've got a Kingpin Dana 60 out front with the appropriate side drop to run either the Jeep stuff or Chevy stuff. So I think we're going to turn it into a wee little beast. So what else we got in here? Not a whole lot. Been trying to clean. That, hopefully, as my buddy calls it, sacrilege, is going to get put together for too long. I've picked up another parts bike, as some people might have noticed out of the Christmas videos that did or didn't post. I'm up to 3 police bikes. The very first one is Dory's bike, and I'm hoping out of this bike and the bobber to get enough stuff, because if you'll notice, the tank on that one is kind of not to mention the tank on this one and the fairing are really nicer than this stuff. So we're going to take all the good looking police stuff, the best police stuff I got, and we're going to put it on Dory's bike. Dory's bike's going to stay a proper police bike, maybe even to the point of being able to be used for a parade bike. Now, motor on that one actually run halfway decent, but the transmission is gacked in it. So it, plus it was a no title bike. It was a storage unit bike that we've never worried about getting one on it. And the same with this one. This one I might get a title on at some point, but it's going to donate everything on its front end for sacrilege. And after that, this motor's supposed to run, just need a tune-up. We're going to see if we can get that motor to life, and if we can, put it in Dory's, because the motor that's in it is needing rebuilding, even though it was sold to me under the pretext that, oh, it's a good motor. No, man, that one was not a good motor either. It's a 78 1000. Otherwise, my other Cowie motors are all proper police bike motors, including the one out of Dory's bike stuffed under the shop bench. Unless something drastic changes, there's at least 19 more of the top kicks in my future. Have a straight 6 for this one now. Lions Club van might be on the way to being a 4x4. The Downtown Brown, which was actually originally a purple truck as parts, could be a demolition derby truck. The brown cab and a half, this pretty son of a gun, someday we'll get you some better pictures, is going up for sale, I think. My blue one is getting built in a build. That pile of junk is a donation to the Demolition Derby program. We're going to put it together for truck class. All the body parts are there, and we got small blocks and motors and shit, so there's that one. Gambler donation from one of my favorite tow companies. Mr. Tom hooked us up with that. We're still going to use it. We just didn't use it last year. We might try again this year. Haven't decided. This one for sure is getting built for this year. That one will get straightened out, and either I'll run it again, Dory will run it again, or we'll involve somebody new that hasn't had a chance to play. Now, I don't know if I can get by blue. I'm really thinking about stealing Blue's four-wheel drive stuff. It's kind of been stored underneath them. And motor, transmission, transfer case maybe in the Bronco, but most likely the axles out from underneath this. They actually originally come out from under the van. I'm going to try and find a slightly newer fuel-injected one and put one together with the 5-speed standard. Gambler stash. One, I should say not one, but two abandoned Jeep Cherokees. Haven't heard from their owner in a coon's age. The first Demolition Derby truck I was starting to build, we're going to finish that one up and hopefully send him this year. Either Flagstaff or Holbrook. Oh hell, he's still screwed from last year. That sounds weird. I haven't made up my mind, but there's a 50-50 really good chance that because of the age of that one, that's a 76. If I can get him running, that's probably going to be my car this year. But I also have in stash a third that is actually properly mine. Cadillac like practice car out there, the first white one that Dexter that we're probably going to strip and use. Gambler project. That's all I'm going to say about that Cadillac Gambler project. Friend of mine suggested using the green truck, doing a rat rod build out of it. Don't know. Demolition Derby truck parts, and then a trailer out of the box in the frame. Angel's Alcan, El Camino. Something I'd like to hit with a LS. This pile of shit I think we're going to build into or set up for doing tough truck if the locals, if the places ever get around and actually do it. We don't know, just like Demolition Derby. I'm thinking I'm going to have to go talk to the fair board and see them maybe if they won't do something at the rodeo. Bronco. I have a HEI set up for the motor that's in it now. So I think we're going to take another crack at it real soon, maybe trying to get him up and running. I arched those springs underneath it just playing to see if it could be done. We're going to do the same thing for Red, but we're only going to, we'll use this set over here. Man, it's kind of chilly out here. My hand's getting cold. You see if I can change and not drop it. So that's the normal perspective of your typical Ford front spring, flat or damn near convex. Then you have .450 springs, which ride hard as hell and are probably a little extreme. I'm thinking when we take the Dana 60 from this guy, we're going to take, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use that set or the set that's under Red right now, but we're going to re-arch a set to about, probably be about 3 to 4 inches over. Not much more than that because I don't want to get too crazy. These guys, way much over. So yeah, that diff at Dana 60 and them springs be going underneath Red. This diff right here, we're going to steal the open carrier, like I said, and do a weld up on it for Red. What else we got? Been trying to clean, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this frame that's underneath this cab or go, I know where there's a cab and a half proper Dodge frame that will accept Cummins stuff and build a Cummins haul truck. So lots going on. The only question on the Jeep build is whether to steal this Dana 60 and put underneath it, or build a 8-lug Dana 44 for it. I only plan on running about 35-inch tires tops on the Jeep, so we might go with the Dana 44 that's laying in there. Did end up with some military tires, more of them. Could use some ones with some tread, a little bit better, and a bunch more 6-cylinders, one of which, this blue one, I might well throw an automatic behind it and use it in the Derby Bourbon. So we're getting out there on time. We got Miss Dory's van. We're gonna try and get that fired up right quick. Still got to find a windshield and a side glass for it. Needs a little bit of love here and there. It's a pretty good little find though. Yeah, lots going on. Nothing much new. Grizz is head out front holding up the flag. Working on that truck for a gentleman. The Honda, or the Bombda, going up for sale for a gambler, $500. First come, first serve. We'll hold it for an in-state gamble event if somebody wants it. We got to scrap out the RV from Christmas. Bertha's hanging out over there, and otherwise it's a dreary ass morning in Chino Valley. I'm gonna start doing something because I'm half frozen. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, squirrel. Minimal squirrels were exhibited in this video. Let's see what we're gonna look at. There's the subject. When I named the channel when we first started it, we just Huck's Dog Pound, because I've always got dogs around. It's almost like a pound, not exactly, but kinda. Just different reasons. it seemed to fit. Well, sometimes think shit out. I didn't. I should have. And I'm actually going to flip this and put myself on. Maybe I can at this point. I ain't going to try turning the camera around. It's a pain in the butt. Mascot. Anyway, second squirrel. So we're going to most likely change the YouTube name. You have a lot of simplicity. Right there is one of my favorites as far as once you watch them once, you'll understand. Scott's the Shit. Essential Craftsman was a great name for his channel. Well thought out. Jonathan W. Simple. Once you watch his channel, it's all good. And I see a lot of guys doing it. Thought about doing that myself. John H. Whatever. No. Decided I didn't like that. Huck plays into it a lot. Huck, there's a joke behind that. Sometime I'll do Huck's story time or Johnny's story time and tell you all about it. It's kind of funny, kind of sad. But I watch a lot of YouTube for the informability, and we're going to rename the channel or start a second one, and definitely renaming it. Huck's Havoc is one thought. Huck's Garage, nah. I do a lot more than garage. And when we do it, we'll try and set up a better description and all that. But thought about Sacrilege Garage. I don't know if I really want to do anything with garage in it, but it might be the way, because, like I said, a friend of mine says that Mr. Kawasaki Third Squirrel is just wrong, because while that is a Kawasaki motor and a bunch of Kawi parts, it's put into a Harley rigid frame that the gentleman engineer type took, and basically right where the carbs are now, normally there's a center leg in there. He moved it, whatever, made motor plates, set it up, and built that bike. And my buddy originally said the license plate should be Sacrilege. Yeah, birds, I hear you. While we're talking, a little nod to Tri-City and my old pink truck. Toying with making my new trucks pink, just because it would stand out. Anyway, that's another squirrel. Holy shit. We're going to try and keep it to a seven squirrel minimum on videos, and keep them in the 15-minute range. So, names. If anybody happens to see this and have suggestions, PM me. Most likely my number's in there. Hit me up, make suggestions. I'm interested, but I'm kind of liking Huck's Havoc, which Miss Suzanne thought of for Christmas. It was actually Huck's Halloween Havoc originally, and then Huck's Christmas Havoc. But yeah, I'm kind of liking Huck's Havoc. If you have to throw a garage in there, Huck's Havoc Garage. But we do so much more than that. I do mess with dogs. I do try to build stuff. I might not be the best, but we're getting there. And I love passing on simple information that a lot of people overlooked, or maybe I should say is starting to be forgotten. It's like Jonathan said in one of his videos this morning. I'm the same way. If you look around the shop, this place is scattered with flipping V8s. There's a 425 Caddy motor. There's a 300 Ford 6. There's my good 12 valve. There's about 3-4 little baby Kohler motors over there. They kind of don't count for this, but we're actually talking about the big V8s in the older big motors that you could do something cool with. Not a bad rat rod motor, a 306, especially back with the 5-speed. We've got a low mileage 454 big block there. We've got a 500 Cadillac here. We got a 350 Olds there. There's at least there's small blocks scattered all over the place. There's one broke down over there. So you know, sometimes like the 6 cylinders, the Chevy 6 cylinders I just got, guy was pretty much going to throw them out. One got a little water in it, and he seen it, and he kind of panicked. And the other one cracked manifolds. So we're going to use them. Like I said, we might use them for the Demolition Derby program, but it also give me the rest of the miscellaneous parts to put one in the white Chevy out there, which I want to do kind of a nod for my brother. His first store-bought for real new truck was a 78 Chevy with a 306 4-speed 4-wheel drive half-ton, almost like that, except I think it was green. Anyway, I've rattled on enough. I got a garbage can or a can around here I gotta set up real quick for a coal can for a smoker and a couple other things. So as I was saying, y'all have a great day. I hope the sun comes out up here in Chino and it warms up, or if not, it gets cold and snows so I can make some money. Either which way, see you in a minute.